Welcome to an exhibition match of my upcoming tournament. It's a new format, a totally different format than anything I've played before on this channel, you know, as a competitive match, I think. We're starting here with the closest to pin, and then we're playing 3 hole matches. So I'll start here and hit this shot, and this will actually determine who gets the first selection of the round that we're playing. And I'll try not to tease it too much until we get, you know, going on it. But this is the start of it. We'll always start on hole 13 with this little closest to pin. We'll hit it up there. Mine's going to bounce a bit to the left. Ooh, where is CBTV's ball? I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to end up 9.5 feet away. CBTV is at 3 meters. All right, we've determined that CBTV is slightly closer, ever so slightly, so we're going to give him the start here. And the way that this works is we now use a tennis-style scoring system where the 3-hole rounds each count as a point, so whoever wins the 3-hole round gets 1 point. If there's a tie at the end of 3, which will probably happen somewhat frequently, it goes to the closest to pin. The in-game closest to pin is what we're going to use to determine that point. And the first to 3 points wins the set. So after this set, the points reset, and the first person to win 2 sets wins the match. Now, if it goes to a 3rd set, so if someone gets 3 points and then the other person gets 3 points in the next set, the 3rd set must be won by 2 points until it gets to 3-3. If it gets to 3-3, there are 7 3-hole rounds available in the game. Whichever has not been used to that point will become the tiebreaker sudden death playoff. So you just play that one as if it's a sudden death. That's the format. CBTV has picked Classic A, so since he won the closest to pin, he gets first choice of the rounds. And he's going to go with holes 10 through 12 here. 10, 11, and 12 is what we're going to be playing. Best of luck to CBTV. I'll have a scoreboard on the screen as well. That'll make this hopefully somewhat easy to follow. And we're going to play hole 10 through 12 in order here and see who wins it. We got some 4-mile-an-hour winds pushing diagonally in the face, also to the right a bit. I think we're both going to go for some 0 adjustment drives. We should end up pretty much right next to each other. And we will, almost directly in the same place. It's 11-mile-an-hour winds. I may have said that wrong at the get-go, but it is 11 miles an hour. Let's aim this one out to there. I think roughly there is pretty okay. We'll give it like 3.3-ish dots of power, and hopefully that makes its way up there nicely. You know, hopefully it doesn't roll out too far. Maybe we'll get lucky if that curves a little bit more. No, it just kicks a little bit to the left. CBTV has tapped in a birdie. I'll tap in a birdie as well. And this is going to go quickly. You know, these 3-hole rounds don't give you a lot of time to get leads, nor does it really give you time to come back. Things are going to happen quickly. There's a lot of resets, though. So after every point, it totally resets. I feel like you're never really out of it in this one. And after a tougher hole 10 to start, we'll both be at 1 under. 2 holes left. 2 fairly standard holes, some of the easier ones in the game, to see if we can get a make. It's probably going to take a hole out to win this. What are we going to have on 11? Looks like some moderately strong wind again, and a pin that's not quite the easiest. Yeah, 6 miles an hour is what we're dealing with. Now with this one, we have to be really careful not to actually smack the pin. So we want to aim it just a touch out to the right. Right about there should be pretty good. We'll give it, call it 3.4 or so dots of power. We'll send it up there with some spin. And now hopefully this just ends up slightly left. It's a little too far left, I think. It'll roll back, and that should be an okay approach and a tap-in birdie. It looks like CBTV has once again had a very similar approach to me. We'll both have tap-in birdies. CBTV has made it, and I've got a little straight 2-footer here to tap it in for mine. So 2 holes, 2 birdies. And it's going to come down to hole 12. It might take an albatross on hole 12 to win this outright. Otherwise, we'll move to our first closest to pin. And what are we going to have? It looks like it's going to be some wind. Is it headwind or tailwind? It looks like it's slight tailwind. Okay, 9 miles an hour, actually. Not the lightest, not the strongest. Just somewhere in the middle. Let's send this out there.
Nice shot.
And it's that back left pin. So regardless of the wind condition here, we may be forced to use the spoon and roll this one back there in that way. Let's take a look. I don't think we want to actually land this on the green. We may want to land it a little bit short, because with all this tailwind, it's going to get pushed pretty fast, and it's going to come in pretty hot. So we may just want to make sure we put this on the green. We'll aim it out to there. Looks fairly good. We'll use the spoon. Call it 3 or so dots of power, maybe slightly less because we're quite far up here. 2.9 is what I'm going to call it in terms of power, and let's hope that works. We'll send it up there. Now that's going to carry decently well. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be online for a make, but I will be putting and pretty much tapping in. CBTV has ended up off the back of the green. So a slightly stronger wind here is going to make it a tougher birdie for CBTV, or excuse me, Eagle. I should be able to just tap my Eagle in, and now we'll see if that's enough to win me the point, or if CBTV can make this nice fringe putt. And he does. So CBTV with a clutch kind of save. You know, it's not too bad from back there, but not the easiest. And we'll each be 4 under on Classic A, holes 10 through 12. We'll now move on to the closest to pin, which will determine point 1. And what are we going to get for closest to pin? It looks like we'll be playing hole 10. And where are we located? We're going to be, oh, chipping. We're chipping. It might take a make to win this one. Okay, it's 11 miles an hour, and that back pin location. This one's a weird looking one. How do we want to handle this? I'm going to aim it out to there and hope that it moves just a decent amount to the left. I think roughly there should be pretty good. Call it 2 or so, maybe slightly more than 2 dots of power. And hopefully this just rolls out nicely and maybe makes it. It's probably going to take a make. Oh, if that just moves a little bit left, I'll be good. Oh, it launches a little bit. I get the little launch roll, and I end up 12 feet away. Oh, that is not a very nice rollout. If CBTV can put this closer, he's going to take point 1. And he almost certainly did. I think it's just underneath my waiting for players bar. I put it to about 12 feet. CBTV puts it to about 5 feet, and he'll take the first point of this one. He is up 1-0. My selection here is going to be Resort C. So like I said, there are 3 selections per 9. This is holes 7 through 9. So there's 21 total holes in the game, making for 7 3-hole courses. And I'm going to pick holes 7 through 9. And I should also note, once a 3-hole course is used, it cannot be used for the rest of that set. So you cannot replay a 3-hole course until the set is won by somebody, at which point it all resets. But you have to pick different courses for every single point in each set. We're going to start here with a tough look at hole 7. It's going to be 29 miles an hour pushing in the face and to the right as well. Let's club down to the spoon, try to put one safely out there. I think the aim to about there should be pretty good. We'll just let the wind push that way to the right. Hopefully that ends up towards the end of that fairway and also a decent enough ways to the right. I think I've done a pretty good job here and left this in a fairly favorable spot. Now let's see how we want to handle this one. I think we'll want to aim this way out to the left. Call it like there or so. And I'm going to hit this with some spin and some fuller power, maybe even full power on this 3-iron to zip it back. Let's see how that works. I think this is pretty good. Let's give it a shot. Okay, I lose a pixel of power. It's not going to make too big of a difference, I don't think. That actually looks quite good if it rolls back nicely, and that'll be to a couple of feet. However, it might have to be a make for it to give me any sort of advantage here. It just misses. CBTV is going to tap in the birdie, and I'll have a fairly straightforward birdie, so not the easiest hole 7, but we both handle it pretty well. CBTV, I should have mentioned, is a very, very solid player and somebody who is very helpful in organizing these tournaments. We're kind of on the same committee, if you will, for the organization of it, and it's a good match so far. We have not actually had any different scores on any hole. No mistakes, but a lot of tough conditions, tough for holeouts. Let's see if we can get some opportunities and maybe try to get one of these in regulation. What are we going to have on hole 8? Looks pretty tough here as well. Yeah, 24 miles an hour straight across. Let's aim this out to there, I'll say. I think that's fairly decent. We'll give it the 5-iron and about like 3.7 or so dots of power with some spin. Hopefully that just zips back nicely. And we can put this one in the area of the cup and just try to spin it back. Oh, that's gonna be a pretty poor adjustment. Hopefully it ends up being all right for the putt. That's okay. CBTV has a pretty straightforward one. Mine is fairly makeable. A tough hole 8 here, and my adjustment was just not nearly enough. He's gonna tap in the birdie, and I'm gonna have a slightly more difficult one. It's gonna move to the right on me. But let's see if we can tap that up there. Let it move right. Oh, and it just sneaks inside the right edge. Okay, I'll make the birdie though. We'll move on to hole 9. Once again, all tied. The exact same scores on every single hole so far. It's probably going to take some hole outs to get an advantage here. Otherwise, it's going to be, you know, putting it close on the closest to pins. Here is hole 9, and we're going to see perhaps an eagle opportunity. Some stronger looking wind pushing straight ahead, 31 miles an hour, nearly maximum wind. Let's see if we can send this one out there nicely and give this a shot at an eagle. I'm just going to let the wind push that nicely back to the left. That should avoid the tree. CB is just going to miss it on the right side, and that's actually going to give him a nice look at this one. So let's see. 259 yards out, wind pushing pretty much straight ahead. Is this a look? Perhaps with the 3-iron and some spin? I'm not totally sure. I think I'll give it the full 3-iron. CB is going 3-iron. I think I'm going to do the same. No spin for me. I'm just going to hit that one up there. And hopefully that just kind of takes a big bounce. Oh, the spin may have been necessary, but CB goes for it and ends up towards the bottom of the green. So we're going to have much, much different eagle putts here. I'm 32 feet towards the back of the green. He is way down below. Tough putts in 2 different ways. Let's see if I can sink this, and this may determine point 2. Let's hit a careful putt up there. Maybe a little bit more than a dot and a half, and then it has to trickle down that hill. Let's send it on its way. Mine's going to move left. Oh, and it's just not enough. Oh, that's such a tough read. CB has missed a tough putt as well. So it came down to an opportunity on hole 9, and I'm going to have to tap this in for the tie. We each had putts, some very long putts, to try to secure point 2 in regulation, but it's going to come down to another closest to pin. So once again, all square, 3 under, and it's going to be a closest to pin to determine the second point of this match. So this one can either give CBTV a huge advantage in this first set, or it can even it back up for me. Let's see if I can hit a good shot here. It looks like one where I don't have to be quite as aggressive as last time. You know, I thought I had to go for a make first time around, but this is a weird angle. This is one that I'm not super familiar with. We'll aim it out to, call it there. Hit it with just a little bit less, I think, than 3.5 dots of power, kind of towards the front of that green. And let's see, it's a downhill shot. Let's see if that adjustment's good. That should get pushed quite a ways. Oh, and that's a lot more downhill than I thought it was. I'm going to end up in trouble. I'm in the rough. Wow, that one really flew on me. I never go down to that end of that fairway, and it comes back to bite me with unfamiliar territory on hole 7. And CBTV is going to take 2 points, so that closest to pin was definitively his. He put it nicely on the green, and I completely flew it, despite actually hitting it uncomfortably short. So it's going to be 2-0 CBTV through 2. So CBTV has selected Resort A, which is holes 1 through 3. And I need to win 3 in a row, otherwise CBTV will take game 1, or set 1, I should say. And let's see what we're dealing with here. It looks like some moderate wind. The wind has not been very nice so far as the holes go. I mean, we've played the A's, Resort A and Classic A, and the winds have been, I think, above 6 miles an hour on every single A course we've seen so far. So, tougher looks just make for birdies, then it comes down to closest to pins. But let's see if one of us can make this one here on this middle right pin. It's not too bad of a look, and I'm going to have to start hitting some shots to have a chance here. Let's aim this roughly out to there. I think that's a decent look at it. I'll want to give it like 3.1, maybe slightly more than 3.1 dots of power, and hope that that bounces up there nicely. It's not really a downhill shot, I don't think. That should... Oh, it hits the fringe, and that's going to bounce way too far. That needed to carry to the green. It may have taken a slightly nicer bounce, but I just don't think it was quite the right adjustment either way. We'll have to tap in a birdie. I think CBTV has tapped in a birdie as well. And it's just been a match of, you know, avoiding mistakes, tapping in birdies. The eagles have been hard to come by, or at least, you know, the hole outs. And once again, through regulation, the 7 holes that we've played so far, we have not had any difference in scores. It's just birdies through 1 here. Let's see what hole 2 has in store. There are some chances at makes and eagles in these first 3 holes. And here is one of them. Hole 2, 2 mile an hour winds. Let's see about this one. I think the aim to about there, roughly, should be pretty good. I'll club up to the spoon. We'll hit it with just a little bit more than the bottom of that second dot of power. and just roll this one up there and hope that it sinks. This one's a little bit of a guess. I kind of like the line that it's on. Hopefully that just takes a nice bounce and moves to the right, and I think I've left it on the low side. And I did. Oh, it just didn't quite get there, despite being ever so slightly downwind, and I thought I put some pretty good power on it. And I'll have to tap this in for the birdie. Can CBTV make the hole-in-one and force me to beat him on hole 3? Otherwise, he'll take the first set, and it just trickles right by the cup. So once again, that should be a tap-in birdie. And through 8, we have had no difference in score, as long as he can sink this, which he will. And through 8 holes, no difference in score. We actually did play this once before, and it was quite a different result. There were so many hole-outs in our first match of it, but it can go either way. I now have to win hole 3, otherwise we'll go down to another closest to pin. What sort of conditions are we going to have on hole 3? Always extremely important. The wind plays such a factor, as well as the pin position. And it's a tougher little pin, especially for this kind of wind. So we'll just want to put this safely down in the fairway. And then put it just as close as possible to the green on the second shot. It's going to be a pretty tough eagle, but you know I kind of need that. I need to make a tough shot and hope that CBTV doesn't make that as well to avoid the closest to pin that I've not been having a great time on so far. Let's see, we just need to aim this out to the left, let the wind push it up there, and try to hit one up and in. Second shot is on its way. That should end up either short in the rough or in the bunker. Either way is kind of fine. We'll end up short in the rough, 33 yards out. And now we need to think about this one quite a bit. Let's aim it to... call it there. CB has just missed it on the left side. So I have a chance here to tap this one up, give it a little bit of rollout, and try to steal this game, and mine is just going to miss on the left side as well. So we both over-adjust for the wind, and through 9 holes, no difference in score, we're going to head to our third closest to pin, unless I whiff this one and leave it short. But I'll tap it in for the birdie. All right, so we'll once again head to a closest to pin. We're 3 for 3 on closest to pins. I'm not sure in our first match if we even reached 3 total closest to pins. So a much different one so far, but it is intentional that closest to pin has a big factor here. This is supposed to be sort of a chaotic type of tournament. You know, it comes down to one shot a lot of the time, and that's how you're going to win or lose it. Let's see if I can, you know, win this one. It's going to be another chip closest to pin. Let's give this 3 or 2.5 dots of power, I want to call it, and just let it roll out. Maybe slightly less than that. We'll just roll this one up there and hope that it doesn't fly too far. CB has put it pretty close. I get that little launch again, but I think CB's won it. I think he's won it. I'm 6 feet away. That really curved to the left on me a lot more than I thought it would. And CBTV, I believe, is fairly close, but he will take set 1 with 3 closest to pins. I clearly have to work on those, but great first set to CBTV, and he'll be up 1-0 in terms of sets. The score now resets. We'll move on to our second set, where everything is new, and I have control of the first selection in the second set, since CBTV won that closest to pin to determine the first set. And I've decided to mix it up. We're going special holes, the very difficult holes 19 through 21, the 3 extra holes in this game, to see if we can break open the scoring that has yet to have any difference so far through the first set. We've got a tough look here at hole 19, as is very, very often the case. Let's see if we can just send a good one up there. Try to put it, you know, in a good spot to hit this second shot up there. I think that sort of first shot should be pretty good, just kind of bouncing down to that little notch in the fairway. And this should give us, you know, a decent look at the green here. Let's see, I think the 3-iron's the way to go. Full 3-iron's going to be my play. Let's aim this way out to the left and try to trickle this one up there. We want to be on the low side of the green, if anything. That's kind of the safe leave here. I think the aim to about there should be decent. It looks like CB is in a pretty good spot on the green. So I'm going to have to try to match that. And oh, I think I may be going a bit too far over. But you know, that's okay. That should actually be a fairly straight putt. 17 feet away. Has CB made the birdie? I haven't seen it pop up yet, but I'm just going to assume that he has. I'm going to trickle mine down there. Just about a dot of power. Should be the right type of power to let that move to the right and fall. I'll sink the birdie. Not the easiest one there, but that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to make this one chaotic, and it will be birdies for both of us. So through 10 holes, no difference. It's going to come down to holes 20 and 21 now to see if we can finally have one of us break this open in regulation. It's going to be hole 20 with some light-looking wind. Not bad at all here, 4 miles an hour, and a pin that's not too bad either. Let's see, I just want to aim this a bit out to the right of the starting point. Just try to sneak it around that tree.
Nice shot.
There's that first little tree on the left side that you have to get around, and then you have to avoid that big pine tree trunk in the middle there. And with this very light wind, I'm not too concerned about the distance on this second shot. We can just put it on the green from pretty much anywhere out in this fairway. I think I've left myself a pretty good look at this one. Let's aim this right about there. I'll hit it with about 3.5 dots of power on this 3-iron here. I think that's a pretty good look at it. Now let's see, I want this to land just short. It should kick a little to the right and maybe roll back. No, it just glides to a stop. I hit the downslope on the wrong part of that green. We'll have a 22-footer and actually a fairly tough one. This one moves quite a bit to the left down there. Let's see, I'm going to hope that right about there is pretty good. We'll tap it down with roughly a dot of power. And that should fall nicely. Okay, my putts have been doing pretty well. Birdie putts are what you have to hit to try to keep these even. And we are now 11 for 11 on scoring the exact same score. So I'd argue that CB and I are fairly evenly matched players. Hole 21 is going to have to be the hole where one of us wins it if it's not going to go down to another closest to pin. Let's aim this one out to there, I think is pretty good. The wind should move this safely left of that right bunker and just kind of keep it in the middle of the fairway. And this is a fairly tough look at hole 21. We're going to have to hit really good second shots to give ourselves a chance, or at least, you know, a makeable chance at a birdie here. It's that left pin that's just up in the middle of that green. Let's aim our shot out to there. I want to leave this trending right, if anything. So if we're going to miss this, I want to miss this on the right side. Just put it on the green and be safe with it. I think that's a decent looking shot. Yeah, that'll end up hopefully coming back. No, it glides to a stop back there, kind of. I mean, it trickles back down. CB has sunk the birdie, and my shot did not roll back nearly how I thought it would. It just bounces to a stop, and now I have a tough little side hill that I have to hit really, really hard just to put it up there and give it a chance. I think the aim to about there should be okay. We're going to have to blast this one up that hill. Oh, that really did not react the way I thought it would. Let's see if we can take... Ooh, okay. Whew. Whew, whew, whew. That was a tough birdie. And once again, we both birdie. We move on to another closest to pin. 12 for 12 on the exact same scores. This hardly ever happens, but anything can happen in this tournament with such a small sample size per round. Let's see. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a really tough closest to pin. We have some wind, and we have a tree in our way. How do we want to go about this? What's our distance on this one? We have to go 7-iron over the trees, it looks like, and maybe try to spin it back. This is a weird one. Let's see if we can pull it off, though. Probably have to aim it to, call it there. Fullish 7-iron with some spin. Let's give it a shot. See if we can win one of these at some point. That looks pretty okay, but it's not going to be good enough. CBTV puts it right next to the cup. I'm not exactly sure how he did that. That was a fantastic shot. And CBTV has won 4 closest to pins to take every single point in this game. So these closest to pins are not boding well for me. I've played well otherwise. You know, no mistakes for either of us, no hole-outs either. And it's just come down to these absolutely clutch closest to pins for CBTV. So in an effort to break this deadlock, CBTV has selected Classic C, which is holes 16 through 18. We've each tried our best to select the most chaotic rounds that we can, the best 3-hole courses, for trying to break up the scoring, but it hasn't happened yet. Let's see if this is the time where it does. Hole 16 is going to have some crosswind here, but not in too bad of a direction. Let's aim this one out to there. I think that's a fairly good spot to leave this one. And see if we can maybe have one of us chip this up there for an eagle. As long as we both get through.
Nice shot.
Okay, mine's going to make it through the shortcut, no problem. Move nicely left, and hopefully just launch up there. And I'll have a fairly good angle to try to chip this one up there. Both of us have looks at it. I saw that CB ended up a little bit short. I launched up there pretty nicely. And let's see if we can hit this one up there and maybe get it to fall. This should kick a little bit to the right. CB has sunk it. Let's see if I can sink it or if there's finally going to be a difference in this match. Mine's going to roll up and oh, I'll just miss it. Wow, CB makes a nice eagle. I leave mine to 1.4 feet. And you know, the difference hasn't been very extreme at all in this match as I tap in the birdie. But it's just been enough for CBTV to win everything so far. So finally, the deadlock is broken. CBTV makes an eagle through some tougher wind on hole 16. A very nice one there. And I'm going to be battling back in this classic C course. We've got the holes to make it happen, though. 17 and 18 are often so chaotic. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Looks like it's actually not too bad of a hole 17. I think I'll want to use the spoon and aim it out to roughly there. Now let's see if we can put this one up there and maybe give it a look.
Nice shot.
At a birdie. That should just kick a little to the right and hopefully launch. Oh, it doesn't launch. It actually just bounces to a stop. Oh, I see that CB has launched and gone all the way off the back. So I have a look here to maybe even this match back up unless CB hits a very nice chip. I'm going to trickle it down. His putt is on its way. Oh, and that'll miss, it looks like, on the right side. So I now have a putt to even this back up. Let me aim it a good ways out to the right. We'll hit it with about a little more than a dot of power. Trickle it down there. It's going to move to the left, and I'll make a birdie. So 2 holes in a row are finally resulting in different scores, but it overall results in a tie once again. So CB wins one, I win one right back, and we are all square in this one. It's going to come down to hole 18, sometimes a very chaotic one. Let's see what kind of condition we get. It is going to be a chaotic hole 18. Wind in the face. Pretty terrible direction for this wind as well. Maximum wind. Oh, right in the face. This is a tough look at this one. Let's see if we can pull this off. You know, try to put it in a good spot. We can maybe go for that green island in 2 as long as we hit a decent first shot. I'm just not quite sure if that's it. You know, we both end up in a decent spot to go for it. I think we can both make this as long as we hit it out to the right part of the green, or excuse me, the left part of the green, I should say. The correct part of the green is the proper term for it. CB has made it. And I was planning on hitting the same exact shot. I promise I'm not just copying what he's doing.
Nice shot.
But that is the proper look at this one. You can't quite go for the pin, but you can leave it on the short part of this island. We'll launch up there. And this will be a tough chip for an eagle, and that's going to be what it takes to win this one. Let's see if we can bounce one up there. I may actually want to go for spin. See if we can zip one back and get it to fall that way. It's going to be tough, but let's see if we can pull it off. Probably have to hit it with a little bit more than 3.5 dots of power. Let's see if we can hit a good chip here. With plenty of spin, I'm going to hit it up there a good ways. It's going to move back, and I'll sink it. I'll make the extremely tough eagle on hole 18, and that was a much-needed one, at least in terms of the victory. CB has made a par, but I chip in the eagle, and I'll take this round. Finally, the deadlock was broken, and it resulted in every single hole's score being different for both of us. So I'll take a -4 to a -2. I'll get my first point in this match, but that does even set 2 back up. So it's 1-1 here in this crucial set for me. I have elected to go for Resort B, which is holes 4 through 6. I do kind of like these ones conditionally. Let's see if I can take a lead in this second set that is now tied back up at 1-1. We're going to have to hit a good shot here on this hole 4. Not too bad of a look at this one. It's actually a really tough pin for an ace, though, so we just kind of want to leave this one close. That shot should be pretty good, I think. It's not going to be enough for a make. It's actually going to miss pretty substantially on the left side, but that should be a tap-in birdie. CB has made the birdie as well, so hole 4 is often a decent look at an ace. In this case, it would have taken a really, really nice shot to make it happen, though. So we'll tap it in for the birdie. Hole 4, a little bit disappointing, at least in my opinion, but we'll move on. Let's see what kind of look we have at hole 5. Is it going to be a fun tailwind, or is it going to be something else? Looks like it's going to be something else. 4 miles an hour, not too bad. A pin that's fairly difficult, though. You know, this one's arguably not too bad. It's one that I'm pretty familiar with. But with this very light wind, it's actually a little bit difficult. You have to hit the little bump and run and just hope that you catch the right part of the mound on that green to have it roll up and in. in this match, it's definitely going to take an eagle for one of us to break it open on hole 5. Let's see if we can pull it off. We'll aim this roughly to there. This should hopefully just hold the fairway and give us a decent angle to go for the bump and run. That's a pretty good second shot. We'll be a little bit further back with this wind in the face, but we should be able to go for the 7-iron from 45 yards and just give it a chance to roll up there. Let's go for that 7-iron. I think the aim to there should hopefully be decent. CB has made it. Oh my goodness, CB has taken the lead so far in this one. Let's see if I can match that nice chip in. Mine's going to roll up. Oh, and I'll lip it 180 degrees around. Wow, what a close call. But I'll just miss that one. Oh, it came down to a nice make versus about the meanest miss you can have. I'll tap in the birdie, and CB is going to take a lead into this very difficult hole 6. So a nice eagle there from that short rough for CBTV is going to give him a one-shot advantage here. It is going to be... looks like some tailwind, and a pin that's not too bad. Very light wind, actually. So let's see. Let's hit the spoon out there. That's usually a pretty safe play with very light wind. That'll put us in a good spot to hit an iron up, and I think it's going to take a make on this shot for me to have a chance at this point. Let's see what kind of distance we have. 146. I'm going to want to use the 5-iron, aim it just a touch out to the left, and just hope to spin it in. Let's see if we can pull something off here. Let's give it the aim out to there. We'll give it, call it, that much power. Let's see. Let's see if we can get lucky and maybe give ourselves a chance at stealing the point. That looks okay, but not great. It really depends on the rollback, and the rollback is not quite going to make it. CB has a nice approach. He's within 5 feet. I am also within 5 feet. He has tapped in the birdie, and that will secure the point for CBTV after that nice eagle on hole 5. Every single hole out is so important in this match, and it's going to be a point there for CBTV. He'll go up 2-1. It is CBTV's choice here, and he chose Classic A, which is holes 10 through 12, and this is for the match win. So I must win this in order to even the set back up, but CBTV can win this for his 3rd point of set 2 and take a 2-0 victory, nearly a sweep if he pulls this off. Let's see if I can put up a fight, though. It's a different look this time at hole 10 here. 4 miles an hour is what we're going to be dealing with. It's going to be that sort of middle right pin position. I'm going to aim mine intentionally out to the right to leave myself pretty purely south of the pin. And now I just need to aim this a touch left. I believe I can hit it with some spin and still get it up there. Let's see if I can pull that off. 4 miles an hour diagonal. I'm going to go 1 square to the left. Full power on this 9-iron with some spin. Let's see if that works. Oh, I left it a touch short. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, wow, I really under-adjusted that. That needed to be quite a bit more. To the left, I'm going to have a 4-foot putt here. CB has ended up slightly short. I'll tap in my birdie, and there are now 2 holes left to see if this match is going to be over or if I can keep it going. So birdies for both of us. An opportunity there with that 4-mile-an-hour wind, but neither of us take advantage. We'll move on to hole 11. What kind of condition are we going to have here? It's going to be that sort of nice front left pin, fairly accessible. It's on a slopey part of the green, fairly consistent in terms of where you can land this and give it a chance. Let's aim this. I'm going to say to there. I think that's a pretty good look at it. We'll give it just a little bit more power than usual with this wind in the face and see if we can make this and try to take a lead here. In this key point for me, that's going to take a pretty good looking landing. It's going to roll back, move to the right, and I think I've sunk it. I make the ace on hole 11 through some moderate winds, and that's a huge one for me. This is an absolutely must-win point to try to keep this match going. CB has made the birdie, but I've taken the 1-shot lead here with 1 hole to play. Hole 12 is going to determine whether I can hold on to this lead or if CB can even this thing back up. And here is hole 12. What kind of condition are we going to be dealing with? It's going to be some crosswind and a pin that's pretty accessible. Not too bad there. Let's just aim this nicely out to the left. Hit a good first drive. Shot number 1 looks to be good. Now we just have to aim this second shot a decent ways out to the left. Hopefully just put this up on the green. It's going to take a nice albatross, I think, from CBTV to even this back up, as long as I can, you know, hit a good second shot, put it close. Let's just aim this nicely out to the left. Right about there looks pretty decent. We'll give it that much power. Now hopefully this just holds the green. I can put this close. Just make an eagle. And try to keep this match going. Mine looks pretty good. That should take a big bounce up in the air. Oh, don't one-hop. I thought that might have a chance at one-hopping it. But it just rolls on by. I'll have 10 feet to go. Pretty straightforward putt here. As long as I can tap it up there and sink it, I'll make the eagle. And that'll secure this point for me. I even this set back up at 2. So my 5 under Classic A, a pretty good score there through 3 holes, is going to give me the point win. So it's now 2-2. And this is an extremely important selection I have coming up. I have elected to go for Classic B, which is holes 13, 14, and 15. And I must win this to keep this match going. If I do win it, I will even the match back up at 1 set each. So this second set, because it's not the final, is just to 3 points. The first person to 3 wins it. There is no win by 2 in this one. Now let's see. 15 miles an hour is what we're going to be dealing with on this first shot here. Let's aim it just a touch to the left. Now, do I want to use the 5-iron and be safe with this one? I think so. I may launch. There's the risk of launching if you go for, you know, the spoon, which is typically what I'd go for with this pin. So let's just hit a nice 5-iron. Just over 3 dots with some spin. Should be a safe look at this one. That's going to take a good-looking bounce. Now, that may have a chance at rolling back. Is it going to be it? It will! I'll make the ace through some tougher winds there. And that one's absolutely huge for my chances of keeping this match going. So CB has tapped in a birdie. I've made an ace. We'll move on to hole 14, and I'll have 2 holes remaining to try to hold on to this lead and keep this match going. Let's see what 14 has in store. It looks like no wind. A 0 wind. Hole 14. Perhaps a chance at an albatross. The rarest score in this game. Let's try to hit a good shot out there and give ourselves a look at it. Just want to put this just under that yellow dot on the power meter. That should be a good shot. It should sneak through all those trees and leave us in a pretty good spot to go for this one. We're both going to end up with very similar looking shots here. Pretty much the same distance, the same look at this albatross. I'm going to want to aim this just a touch left. Ever so slightly left. It kicks a little to the right, and just a little bit less than full power should give this the bounce up and maybe the rollback to maybe make this albatross.
Nice shot.
I think that shot's pretty good as long as it has the distance. That looks promising. If that rolls back nicely, I'll sink the albatross. Wow, I've made 2 tougher shots at an absolutely key time. Let's see if CB can sink it as well. His shot is on the way, and this is an absolutely key one. Can he replicate mine? It'll hit the green first. Oh, and he smacks the pin. Oh my goodness, what an unlucky break there. Now, that's not too bad of a putt for the eagle, but that was nearly a make, and now he has to fight for the eagle. CB will tap in the eagle, but that albatross is enough to give me a 2-shot advantage with 1 hole to play. So I'll be 5 under through 2. And with 1 hole left, I have a chance at perfection. If we get a nice hole 15, I can make that extremely difficult 7 under on Classic B. Let's see what we get. It's some tailwind, and it looks like some lighter looking tailwind. Actually, not really. Moderate looking tailwind. 13 miles an hour, not too bad. Let's try to give this one a chance. You know, I think we can just aim this out to there. Give it, call it that much power. And that should end up in the rough, but safely in the rough. And from over here, I think, I'm not totally sure, but I think I can just aim right at the pin, and as long as I get the power right, I have a chance at making this eagle. Let's see. Let's go 3-iron. Let's go that much power. And I don't know. Let's give it a look. Let's see if I can roll one up there for 3 tougher makes and a look at perfection. Mine is going to just be short. Oh, that was so close. Now, that's sort of a side quest in this game. I'll be able to tap in this birdie, and that will secure the point for me. And I'll take a 3-2 victory in set 2 with a couple of style points on that final point. So both of us put that really, really close, but I'll take the point here, and I'll take set number 2. We'll move on to a decisive set number 3. After CB sweeps the first one, I fight hard for the second one, and this match is even. So in this final set is where some special rules come into play. It must be won by 2 points. You cannot win this 3-2 like I did in the previous round. And if it goes to 3-3, the final unplayed course to that point will just be a sudden death playoff. It will not be played like a typical point. It will just be a playoff played over and over until somebody scores better. But this one is now 0-0. CB has selected the specials to try to mix this one up quite a bit. Let's see if I can hit some good shots here and try to keep this match looking good for me. It is completely even right now. So CB won that first one decisively, extremely decisively. I had to battle hard just to keep the match going in the second, but I managed to do it, and here we are, all square. This is one of those tournaments where, you know, things can turn quickly. It resets quite often, so you have to always be, you know, putting the past behind you, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that. Let's try to take this third set and see if we can take the victory in this one. I think I've given myself a pretty good look at this. It's a really, really tough hole 19. But I can aim this way out to the left. I think just hit this with a full 3-iron, and that should take a nice big bounce up there and give me a look at the birdie. So CB has, it looked like tap in a par.
Nice on.
I mean, this was going to be really difficult regardless. I think he ended up short of the green, and I now have a look here with a pretty makeable putt to try to take a stroke in the first hole of this third set. Let's give this a good amount of power to send it up there, and I'll sink the birdie on a really difficult hole 19. So that's a huge one. If we can get off to a good start here and take the lead, obviously that's what you want to do, and there's a good start for me, a birdie on a really difficult hole 19. So we'll move on to hole 20, and I'll have a one-shot lead in the first point of this huge set number 3. What are we going to have for conditions? Slightly tougher, 11 miles an hour pushing to the right here. Although I think with this wind, we can just cut it close to that first tree and it should push safely right and just make it through that gap. CBTV does a good job of that as well. We'll both end up with pretty straightforward looks at this one. We'll have to try to play this one a bit better this time around. Let's try to aim it out to there. I think that's decent looking. We'll give it a little bit less than pin high power and try to just give this a big bounce up there. Let's see if that works. Just 3.4-ish dots of power should be good, hopefully. Now that should take a little kick to the right, if anything. Roll back, and I just missed it on the left side. That needed to be adjusted slightly less. But I know that that fringe does kick significantly right, and I've ended up in trouble, you know, smacking the pin there. So we'll just put this safely on the green. This is a pretty straightforward putt. Just have to aim it inside the left edge. Tap it down, and we'll sink a birdie on this hole 20. So it'll be birdies for both of us. I still have that one-shot lead, but it's hole 21 coming up. This is a chaotic 3-hole stretch. Let's see if I can hold it together on 21. What kind of conditions are we going to be seeing? Looks like some crosswind and a pin that's... Is that at the top of the green? No, it's not. It's at the bottom, and this is actually not too bad. As far as hole 21 goes, not too bad. It's still a very tough make, though. I always have a tough time getting makes on hole 21. CB is the type of player who can make it happen. Let's try to bounce this one safely up there. Oh, I may end up in the rough. I may have underdone it. It's not the end of the world, but it just makes this second shot a little bit tougher. We'll have to club up to the 5-iron, I think. And we'll just hit this, maybe 3 irons actually to play. We'll hit it out to about there, and just try to keep this one on the green. About 3.5-ish dots of power should be good. We'll send it back there, hopefully in a safe way. Oh, take a big bounce and roll back. Oh, is that going to roll back? It will. Whew, okay, that was scary. But we get away with it. It's still not quite the easiest putt from here, 7 feet away. But I believe CB has tapped in the birdie. And after a scare on hole 21, you know, leaving it in the rough and then leaving it on the back fringe and just trickling it back down, we'll tap in a birdie, and I'll take the first point in set 3. So that'll do it. I'll make 3 birdies on some tougher conditions. Always tough on the special holes, and that'll be a nice first point, a 1-0 lead. I've selected Resort C once again. You know, I came into this match thinking that this was probably going to be my favorite, and this is a good time to pick it. It wasn't very nice to us first time around in that first set, but hopefully we get some better conditions here. Let's see what we're dealing with this time around. A hole 7 that's often chaotic, but I kind of like it. And it's evil. It is pure evil here. Maximum crosswind. A pin that's on a tiny part of the green. It doesn't get much worse than this. But we both have to play it. We both have to try our best to put one close. Now let's see. Oh, CB has ended up in the rough, and I'm going to end up in the rough as well. Oh, that could not have been any closer to the fairway, and it just launches through, kind of. And now we have to go for the spoon, which is not a fun play from back here. This is going to be a tough one. CB has to go spoon as well. He has a little bit meaner of an angle than I do, but we're just going to have to put this somewhere on the green and hope that it works. Let's see. Let's aim it out to about there, and we're just going to have to hit a longer putt here, and there's no getting around that. Let's see. Actually, that's not too bad. If that catches the rough first, which it will, oh, we'll bounce it up there nicely. Oh, that could not have been hit a whole lot better. CB has a pretty straight putt. You know, it's not too bad of a putt as long as you make the green here. He'll sink it. Okay, a nice clutch one there from CB. Let's see if I can sink mine. There's not a lot to this one. Just have to aim it slightly left. It's slightly uphill. We'll tap it back there, and I'll sink the birdie as well. So a tough hole 7 that we both make a slight mistake on, but both recover nicely, is going to result in just 2 birdies. It is now 2 holes remaining in this point to see if I can take a 2-0 lead or if CB can even it back up. Hole 8 looks like it's going to be real tough once again. This Resort C is just not very nice. 33 miles an hour, the second hole in a row with such winds. And it's a really tough one here. If you look at the terrain map, the green is sloping away from this wind, so we have to be really careful with this one. Let's see. I think we'll want to aim it just about to there. Call it that much power. This is just a really tough one. I'm hoping to just hit a good shot. Just put this one behind us, hopefully. Oh, that looks like it's going to be a little bit short. It matters what kind of bounce that takes. It's going to take an okay bounce and glide back. It's just going to be a tough little side hill putt here. CB has made the birdie. I'm going to have a 15-foot side hiller. This is one where in a tournament match, this is going to be nerve-wracking. Let's see if we can send a good putt back there. About a dot of power should do it. We'll send it back there and sink it just inside the left edge on a tough side hill and a really tough hole 8. Birdies once again. 2 maximum wind conditions on the, Resort C, where you can see up to those 33 miles an hour. Let's see if we go 3 for 3. If hole 9 has 33 miles an hour, what's it going to be? It is going to be... Is this nothing? Maximum wind, 0 wind. Kind of poetic, actually, that's the way that it works. Just purely the extremes.
Nice shot.
And, actually, an outside look at an eagle here. This is not too bad of a look. It's maybe the toughest pin on this green to make the 0 wind eagle on, but it's doable. And without that tailwind, you can't putt for it. You just have to hit a good third shot up there, and that's what we're going to have to do. Let's see if we can pull it off. This is a huge one. If CB makes it, this match is right back to even. If he doesn't make it... Oh, I got distracted by him just carrying the water over there on the right side. If he doesn't make it and I make it, I go up to a nice lead here in this set 3. But it's a tough one. Let's see. Let's go 5-iron. I like going 5-iron here. We'll give it... We got to be careful because even if we, hit a good shot and just miss it, it can roll back to a spot where you get in a little bit of trouble. So hopefully we don't overspin this. We just want to hit this one carefully up there. I think that's decent. Now let's see where it ends up. That's going to take a good looking bounce. The rollback is going to lip it out. Wow, what a close call there. That would have been a huge one for that second point. And like I said, it's makeable, but it's probably the toughest pin to make on this green because you have to cut it so close. It's such a risky one with the rollback. And it just lips out so often like we saw there. We'll tap a birdie up there. And I think CB has made a birdie as well. He has, and it's birdies all around on those 3 holes. 2 really tough ones and 1 very straightforward one. And it's going to come down to a closest to pin here. This would be a great time to win my first closest to pin. It's going to be hole 9. It's going to be a slightly longer one, you know, actually a pretty standard shot. So hopefully I can put this one close, give it a good look. Let's see, 17 miles an hour. And I think we'll just want to aim this one, call it right at it. We'll use the 5-iron. We'll hit it with about 3.4 or so dots of power and just try to spin this one back, hopefully right by the cup. Let's see. I think that's a decent shot. Let's see where it ends up. It's going to take, probably a bounce and a glide, and it does. Oh, I forgot that a small portion of the back of that green glides to a stop. My closest to pins have not been good. CB puts it longer, but because he hits the fairway, it rolls back for him. Oh my goodness, what a tough closest to pin for me, but a nice one for CBTV, and he is now 5 for 5 on closest to pins. Oh, I'm going to have to win some in regulation to have a chance, and we're now back to even. 1-1 in this third set. This match is now back to completely even. CBTV has selected Classic B, which is holes 13, 14, and 15. I did a really good job of them the first time around. I'm going to have to repeat that performance. Let's see here. 11 miles an hour on this one is going to make this a slightly tougher one. Let's use the spoon, a little bit of extra power on this to roll it up there. You know, even if it's not a make, we just want to leave it safe and hopefully in the area of the cup. I think that's a pretty good shot to give it a chance. That should carry the bunker, kick to the right, roll back to the left. Is it going to make it all the way there? It's going to end up just short. 1 foot away, right on the line, and I'm going to have to tap in a birdie. Oh, that would have been a huge one. But this match is 1 set to 1 set, 1 point to 1 point. This one is a huge 3-hole stretch to see who gets the advantage. So just birdies for both of us on that fairly doable hole 13. It's now 2 holes left. You know, I feel like I've said that a bunch. It feels like it's always coming down to the final stretch in this format. And it is, because there's such a limited sample per point. Let's see what hole 14 has in store. Looks like some tailwind. And it's 13 miles an hour. Okay, so we can aim this one kind of right at those trees, and it should just push right of those trunks. And with 13 miles an hour, I believe it makes it safely underneath the leaves of that last one. And it will, so that'll be a pretty perfect one. CB has a very nice drive as well. And we both have a look inside 100 yards. 91 yards left on this hole 14. You know, a par 5 that you can really cut down if you get that nice wind like we did there. Let's aim this one, call it there. I'm going to use the 9-iron and try to just spin it back. Let's see if that works nicely. Or at least, you know, glide it to a stop. That should move to the right a touch. Oh, and I'll just miss it. Oh, man. A really close call. 2 holes in a row. Both to about a foot. And I just have to tap in an eagle. CB has made the eagle as well. And CBTV got pin-lipped there, he said. So really, really close calls for both of us. Kind of a rob for CBTV. And we're just even through 2 with 1 hole left. We'll move on to 15. Very often a difficult eagle. Looks like it's going to be the case here. Are we going to be fighting for birdies? It looks like we may be. But I mean, we have a chance. We have a look at it. Let's give this a good drive out to the right part of that fairway. That right notch of the fairway is a very nice place to be with this sort of wind. We'll leave it short intentionally, but it gives us a good lack of side wind on this second shot. And we'll just want to aim this, I think, out to there. Roughly there, looks pretty good. And just try to put this up there nice and close. I'm going to call it that much power. Let's see if we can bounce one up there nicely with this 3-iron. And try to steal the point right here. That should kick a little bit to the right. Move back left. Oh, and it's just slightly overpowered. That was a pretty good line if I just left it a little bit shorter. CB has a slightly longer putt, but he'll sink it with no problems. I'll have essentially a tap in as well. And we're even heading to another closest to pin, and I really need to win one of these. CB is 5 for 5 on closest to pins, but I feel like it's got to happen at some point. I've got to steal one, and this would be a great time for it. So there it is, 4 under for both of us. Just standard scores, birdie, eagle, birdie. And I know that CBTV is coming into these with a lot of confidence. He has not lost one yet, but let's see if I can reverse that trend at a time that would be absolutely huge for me. We'll want to go 9-iron here. I'm going to hit this with some spin. We'll call it right about there for the adjustment. I think that's pretty good. We'll give it roughly pin-high power. I think pin high should be pretty good. We're hitting uphill, but also the wind is helping us here. I'm going to go 9-iron 2 dots with some spin and hope that that works. Let's see. My shot looks decent. Oh, but CB's going to win it. He's going to win it. It's going to glide to a stop. It just doesn't roll back at all. I overdid it, and CBTV is 6 for 6 on closest to pins. My goodness, this is what this match is coming down to. I've selected Resort A to see if I can make some shots and try to force this match to continue. It is 2-1. CBTV is up in this third set. If he wins, he will get to 3, or if he wins this point, he will get to 3 points with a 2-point advantage, and that will be the match. If I win this point, at least, I'll even it right back up. We have a tough look here at hole 1. I was hoping to maybe get some nicer conditions. You know, if it comes down to another closest to pin, it has not been boding well for me, so I selected Resort A in the hopes that we get a couple looks at eagles and that I just, you know, take advantage of one of them at a clutch time. 6 miles an hour in the face is going to be a little bit tough here, but let's see if we can pull one off. I mean, there's always a chance. It's a downhill shot here. I think we'll have to hit it with, call it 3.1 or so dots of power. And let's see if we can roll one up there through some wind and try to steal an early eagle here. That looks okay, but not great. Yeah, and it's exactly that. It just misses on the right side. Not super close, but, you know, close enough that just a slight adjustment would have done it. We'll tap in a birdie, and I'm going to hope that hole 2 and hole 3 give us some makeable conditions. So it's birdies for both of us. Slightly tougher hole 1. Can't go for that 9-iron like I like to on that first hole. We have to go 7, and just missed it. What is hole 2 going to have in store? Oh, it's no wind, but it's not my favorite pin. You know, with no wind, we may want to hit this up there with the iron. That may be the right play here, at least for me. I'm going iron, 3.5 dots of power, and just hoping to make this one that way. It's a tougher way to make it, but I think it's slightly easier than the spoon. I may have left that a little bit short. CB has made the ace. Oh, so this has to be a make for me, and I left it short. Oh, I just miss it, and CB takes an absolutely huge advantage here. You know, I'm going to have to win hole 3 after just shorting that one. Now I have to make this putt as well. But I have to win hole 3 to force a closest to pin, and the way that this has been going, this feels like it's major advantage CBTV right now. Let's tap the putt up there. Sink it. Just had to make that little 15-footer. And now we'll move on to hole 3 and see if I can give myself a chance to even this match back up. And there it is, a nice ace for CBTV on that 0 wind condition. Probably the toughest 0 wind hole on, or pin position on that green, in my opinion. But he sinks it for a very, very key one. And here's this hole 3. It's going to have... Oh, wow. Interesting wind. 11 miles an hour is going to make this a very, very tough chip in. We may have to try to reach this green in 2, which may be possible. Let's aim it out over that tree. Just slightly towards the left side of it. Hit it with plenty of power. That should carry the left edge of that tree, no problem, and hold the fairway. And now, I think my best chance at making this eagle here, which I absolutely need to make. Now, CB can make it as well and close the door on this match, but I think my best chance at the eagle here is to put it through those trees, fade it, and go for the putt. That's what I'm going to do. Let's try to get this fade correct. It's a really tough thing to do in this game, but we're going to have to here. That looks decent. I just don't know if that's it. You know, alternatively, if you miss, you just kind of end up in the bunker chipping. And I'm a little closer than I'd like to be. 19 yards is actually going to be a pretty tough distance. And, oh man, this is going to be a tough chip. I don't think I can spin this, unfortunately. It might just glide to a stop. It's uphill. It's a very short chip. I think I just need to go for the roll-up. So we'll call it a little over that first dot of power. Make sure we get it there. I mean, we don't want to leave this short. If we're going to have a chance in this match, this must be a make. And I think I'm going to have to roll it up and try to rattle one home to make it happen. That looks pretty good. It's going to move to the right. Oh, and I've left it short. Oh, after all that talk about not leaving it short, I gave it more power than I thought I needed, but it was so uphill that I just missed it. CB has made it anyway. That would have closed the door on this match. And what a match it was. It came down to a nice ace followed by a very, very tough eagle on hole 3. You know, hats off to CB for making those 2 really key shots at a key moment, closing the door on this match. So CB wins the first set 3-0 on 3 closest to pins. His closest to pins were absolutely the difference there. You know, I struggled with them. He put them right on the cup. I battled for set 2, and CB wins set 3 pretty decisively, 3-1 there. So great game to CBTV. I hope you've enjoyed this format. I think it's pretty exciting, you know, throughout. It moves very, very fast. It can be won or lost very quickly. But if it comes down to an even battle, it's a long, exciting, even battle, and I think that's what we got there. I hope you've enjoyed this example of what's going to be a whole upcoming tournament of just this format. Whew, I'm excited for it to start around April or so, and we'll see you then.